going on, guys? You got Chris and Sean talking through the medias. So, as we usually do, but we don't record a lot of the conversations. I don't even know how it came up, but we started talking about a lot of these old retro movies that we like to continuously and never-endingly talk about. And we couldn't not talk about it today, so it was like, screw it, let's get it on tape. So let's start off with an oldie. You either love it or you hate it. There's not a whole lot of in between with this movie, but we're going to go with Luc Besson's The Fifth Element with Bruce Willis and this dude who is like a space crackhead who, if you guys know what I'm talking about, Chris, you know what I'm talking about. There, even if you don't remember anything else in this movie, there is a scene in this movie. Chris, explain this one scene to the people listening to this about this one guy. He's a crackhead in space. Explain it to the people so they understand, Chris. This is one of the funniest parts of the movies.
Well, this was the sad thing about this, and probably the most awesome thing about this movie is the fact that this scene was in the very beginning of the movie. It would have been funny.
One of the first scenes.
The very first, like one of the first scenes after like the opening, like
the introduction to Bruce.
Setting the tone of what we were going to be dealing with, and Bruce Willis wakes up in the morning. I think what do we see? Where Bruce Willis wakes up in the morning,
gets his cigarette from the machine.
The little half cigarette people trying to put down, right?
Yeah.
And we see on the wall it says "keep clear," and he's like, "I'm trying." And he's dealing with. I mean, spoiler alert, guys. He's like, he's dealing with shit with his ex-wife. He's got credits taken from him on his license and shit.
Yeah, his shit is expired.
Everything in his life is shit. And
he's a taxi driver in the future.
Right? And the second he opens his door, he looks out into the hallway. The hallway just disappears, and there's Matthew Kozovic playing a mugger.
He's wearing a helmet with a picture of the hallway.
And he's holding it down to the peephole.
Yeah, so it looks like the hall.
It looks like the hallway, and the first thing he says is just what Sean said right at the beginning.
Give me the cash. Give me the cash. Give me the cash.
Bruce Willis is like,
you been standing out there long?
Long enough.
Yeah.
Long enough. Now give me the cash. And for years we've always talked about this. This is like we said, you know what, Sean, we need to come up with a movie review kind of a thing where we point out like the best scenes, the scene stealers from like bit part actors or whatever,
little guys.
From the little guys. And it turns out, you know what, we didn't really pick a little guy.
He's like an award-winning director.
Exactly. Matthew Kozovic is a French director, screenwriter, producer, editor. When I started rolling down this guy's resume, Sean is like, what?
But nobody, I guess, unless you, because I think I'm 99% sure Luc Besson, it sounds French, the guy who made the movie, it's probably one of his friends because he's a famous French director, probably one of the, if not the most famous French director. So it makes sense that if he had a buddy in the industry and he's like, I'm making this really goofy Star Wars type movie, and he's like, oh, you got to put me in this movie. He's like, well, what do you want to do? He's like, give me the craziest shit you got in the movie. He's like, I will give you a crackhead role. And he's like, all right, I'll do it. Give me the cash. And he
already knew what voice he wanted to do and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, he's the guy's aiming the gun at him, and he's like, give me the cash. Come on. And he's got this nervous crackhead laughter.
That laugh he does is hilarious. I mean, this is stuff that that he's probably done for years. He
probably has to do it every party. Everybody sees him. Give me the cash.
I would not be able to meet this guy without him doing it. You gotta say it, man.
Say it, dude. Just fucking say it.
You already know. I'm not even gonna tell you the movie. You already know what I want you to say.
He's at the grocery store, and the cashier's like, "Give me the cash."
Somebody comes out of nowhere. Give me the cash. Or you should have commercials. You should have like Visa commercials. Give me the cash. What's in your wallet?
Do you need that card? I don't need it.
Yeah, take it. I don't need it.
Yeah, he ends up like the crackhead. There's a big yellow button on the side of the gun, and Bruce is like, "Oh, it's a nice gun." He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "It's good for me. That's not loaded." He's like, huh?
What do you mean? What do you mean
it's not loaded? He's like, "You got to press that yellow button on the side, and you want me to do it for you?" He's like, "No." And he, that's when he does that, like that really nervous laugh.
The look on his face. He's looking at the gun. He's like, want me to help you? He's like.
And it turns the gun off. And then Bruce pulls out his gun and sticks it in his face. He's like, I'm gonna go ahead.
You don't mind if I take that, do you?
You mind? He's like, no, I don't need it.
Take it. I don't need it. But throughout all of that, I mean, the movie was awesome, and we loved
that
the
movie.
element for everything that it was. You got Lilu.
Oh my God,
everybody
Mila
always
Jovovich.
says everybody has. I mean, this movie was ahead of its time. If this movie would come out today, it would be a franchise like you wouldn't believe. But Bruce Willis probably would have been too old for it. It was perfect when it came out for Bruce Willis at his age, physically and whatnot.
That was one of the last big movies I think he kind of did. I think it was on the tail end of after or right before he did Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Tears of the Sun. He did more Die Hard movies.
True.
He's done a lot. He done a lot of action after that. He was in everybody came with Schwarzenegger. All those people.
I just don't feel like after that he kind of didn't have the star power. Not that he wasn't famous, but
this was right after Pulp Fiction, right?
Pulp Fiction came out in 94. I believe this came out in 95, 96. So yeah.
Yeah, he was on his then all of a sudden, and then it was with Die Hard 3 with
Die Hard with a Vengeance came out in
95. Man, and then M. Night Shyamalan.
That's true. In 99, the Schlammerhammer dropped the sixth element.
The fifth element.
The Sixth Sense.
Sixth Sense. The fifth element to the Sixth Sense.
Sixth element.
Unbreakable, man. So it wasn't the last. It was
one of.
And then recently he's done the time travel movie. He
Looper.
Looper. You didn't like Looper?
I did, but I kind of wish they hadn't put Joseph Gordon-Levitt in it. Not that I don't like Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
You would have rather Heath Ledger?
Yeah, fucking A. Why not? Why not? Wouldn't you rather see Heath Ledger in that movie than Joseph Gordon-Levitt? Not to take anything away from you, Mr. Gordon-Levitt.
I think Joseph Gordon-Levitt is the American version of Heath Ledger. I think they look alike to me in a way.
They did, but they had like some kind of weird. Oh, and he also played that movie where he was like an android. Like they don't get out of their couches. They just use their own automaton bodies to walk around in real life.
Oh yeah. So Bruce was been kicking ass, but there was something special about The Fifth Element, man. I think that movie Valerie or Val. I still haven't watched it. I think that movie,
the Valerian,
or whatever. That movie was trying to be like a Fifth Element, and I can't say nothing.
I think it's the same director, Luc Besson.
Is it?
Yes.
I got to check it out. I'm gonna try to watch that tonight. I still got to finish another thing, though.
And I think the last sort of big movie he did, at least in America, was the one with Scarlett Johansson, and where she was like a computer. She turned into a computer at the end.
Her, right?
No. Where she took a drug and it made her like
Lucy.
Yeah.
That movie made a lot of money. It was critically a hit, but it made a bunch of money. So dude, it was blowing my mind that we always thought that this guy was just some unknown actor. Sean had it in his mind. We all had it in our mind.
Like, where is this guy now?
He's starving. He's
working with the Shermanator serving sushi. You know, it's like.
Turns out this dude has got best director, best acting awards, editing, best film all over France, kicking ass, taking names. And I mean, he's been out there for a while. This was just him having fun, goofing around on a movie set. Credited as director, screenwriter filmmaker since 1990. His first movie was in 1990.
Yeah, so he was out there. Wait, the first movie he made? He made a movie in 90?
Yeah, the very first movie he directed and wrote the screenwrite for was my French is bad. T.B.R.H. Le Pou.
So he had already directed a movie 5 years.
It was a short film.
Right, but so he had already directed stuff before he even did this cameo.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
So he was a friend. He had to have been a friend.
Yeah, he's a friend of the maker of the movie. He was the director of Gothica.
Wait, the one with Ethan Hawke and
2003. Is that the one with? I think that's the one with.
That's the one where
Halle Berry.
No, I'm not sure, but I think it's the one where Jude Law and Ethan Hawke is like.
No, I'm telling you, it's the one with Halle Berry, Gothica, where Halle Berry was going crazy in an insane asylum.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, he directed that. Give me the gas! He directed that. He directed what's another one you would know of? Johnny Mad Dog, Babylon AD.
That was an animated movie, wasn't it?
I'm not sure.
I know that name. It sounds
Directed
so
by Matthew
familiar.
Kosovic, starring Vin Diesel.
Babylon AD. I believe that was. I'm not 100% sure.
Let's see, what is another one? Rebellion, 2011. That was probably a French movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So here's some of his acting credits. Let's go with everything he did before Fifth Element. So it's a lot of French movies. I can't say the names of these things. It's like since '78, he's been acting in
Whew.
TV series, TV miniseries, short films. He's been doing a lot of work, all the way up to these bit parts. Anything that's that would have no nothing,
So,
nothing in
but
America
he's
really.
probably really big in France. But
Really big in France, and then the Fifth Element, he did that, and then after. Okay, so now that's before Fifth Element. Now let's see after Fifth Element, after what is A5
you know what it probably was? Was he wanted to get into an American movie, or at least something that would be in the American mainstream, the
Right,
audiences would get to see. He's just like, just give me a
right,
cameo in it so they can see my face.
right, and then all of a sudden now he got American directing work. Yeah, so his friend helped him out. That was good. He
Who?
was he was in Assassins.
One with Antonio Banderas and
No, just another movie called Assassins. So no, never mind. That was a different Assassins.
I
He was in Haywire.
Haywire.
The one starring Gina Carano, the
Oh
woman.
yeah, where she's a fighter. Yeah,
Yeah. He was in that. He was in. Let's see. Anything else that we would see? Valerian. He has a
he
little
was in
cameo.
Valerian.
He has a
That makes
cameo in
sense. He's
Valerian.
buddies
Yeah.
with Luc Besson. Okay.
Yeah. He's got a cameo in his
I hope
movie.
they give him a crazy character in that
I got.
movie.
Now I really got to see that. But have you seen it yet?
I have not.
Now I got to see it now. So I got to see it. But what if he's playing the same
The
character? Let's
same
see.
dude. Give me the cash.
Another
Just here
mugger
in the background.
and Valerian. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. Valerian. He's playing Camelot on Big Market. So no. Market. That would be funny if he's mugger number 2. And they're like, dude, how long you been in this hallway? Long enough, man. I still need the cash.
I still need the cash. You waiting here long? Yeah, long enough.
Like it's the same hall. Oh,
He's
dude.
all old.
Wouldn't it be funny if the Valerian and another guy walking down the hallway and all of a sudden they look down, they see his guy like, give me cash. They just ignore it. They're like, this
Yeah.
that
He
would
hasn't retired.
He hasn't retired. He says, no, I mean, like they're on Earth and he's bugging Bruce Willis at that moment.
Oh yeah, that would be cool to throw up in the universe.
Yeah, exactly. They're just passing through. That would be funny, but no, man.
You know who else was good in that movie was Chris Tucker.
He was good in that. He was just playing. That was the time when Tucker was saying that he was trying to be finished playing like a drug addicted character.
He just did Friday, didn't he? Right before that, or right
Right.
around that time, maybe even that same year.
That, and then he luckily got into Rush Hour, and then his agents, his reps convinced the producers that he was the main reason why Rush Hour did so good. So he asked for the first time in his career, $20 million for Rush Hour 2 and 3, and he got it.
What year did Rush Hour come out? Was it 95 or 98?
Probably around that time.
I think it was 98.
But we'll make that. Maybe we'll make that another
day.
retrovision.
What was that saying he kept saying in the movie? He played like a radio DJ, and he had this weird saying. Is it green? Is it green?
Yeah, everything instead of is it good? Is it all good? It was like, is it green? Super green. And he kept saying, Kobe, my man, Kobe, Dallas. That's 3. Oh my God, Kobe, 3. That's 4, Kobe. They're coming. Oh my God. It's Ruby Ryan.
He was so effeminate in that movie. He was so effeminate.
Well, I'm thinking, you know what? Everything is like getting so metrosexual now. I'm telling you, that movie was ahead of its time.
Do you remember when he screamed? Ah! Like,
but I'm thinking the director knew that being gay and all that stuff wasn't gonna be a big deal anymore. So a character like that being a main character wouldn't have been a big deal that far ahead.
And he was a celebrity in the movie, like a celebrity
yeah.
DJ radio host. Is it green?
Yeah, I'm telling you that movie was ahead of its time, man. it called out a lot of stuff. I feel like things. Well, not like I don't know if we're gonna get into this whole intergalactic thing with all these other aliens and whatnot. Who knows? But I don't know.
And lastly, on that, we had Gary Oldman. It's Gary Oldman, right, as the villain?
Oh yeah. And everyone, right?
And actually, now that you mention that, the best movie I think Luc Besson ever made, the guy who directed The Fifth Element, was probably, and it had Gary Oldman as the villain, was if you watch the international cut, it's called Leon the Professional. If you watch the United States cut, it's just called The Professional.
Okay. Yeah.
And he has the best improv line in the history of cinema. And the reaction to his co-star when he does this line, all he does is basically scream everyone. And if you guys go on YouTube, Google Gary Oldman yelling everyone, it is, I mean, it's really simple. It's really brilliant. It comes off really natural, and he genuinely scares the shit out of his co-star when he does it.
Because he taps into probably what the villain really would be thinking or saying at that time, right?
Yeah, he's got this thing where, you know, his character, his villains in his movies are very like eccentric. Like Gary Oldman in The Professional, he would do this thing where he'd take his drugs or whatever and crack it in his teeth and, you know, he's weird guy. You know what I'm saying? He'd lean his head back in the camera, look at me.
He would turn into Kane from RoboCop 2.
Yeah. Frank.
He's
got my teeth wriggling. Cut it with Capone.
Yeah.
5 bills.
We're definitely gonna make that a retro vision review on that.
Frank.
Well, this got off. Well, that's the funny thing about these retro movies, man. We can go into a whole tunnel of different films and whatnot. But I guess, hey, let us know what you guys think. What did you think of that awesome scene from that guy who was in that film that year that was called Fifth Element? When he was that your favorite scene? That was my favorite scene from that movie. But
it really was that good, guys. You guys need to watch it. Look up The Fifth Element, Hallway Mugger.
Exactly, and if we spoiled it for you, good. You should have been. You damn.
You still have to see it.
Hipsters. Yeah, you still got to see it. You baby hipsters need to grow up and learn these classics.
Do you know what's going to happen though if they watch this? What they're going to be doing all day?
What's that?
Give me the cash.
Give me the cash.
Give me the cash. You're going to say that shit all day.
That dude should play do a commercial where, you know how credit cards are now on your phone now, right? Yeah. And he's all like whoop, whoop, sir, your card's not working. What do you mean it's not working?
What do you mean? You imagine him going. That would be the perfect Halloween costume. Every door you go to, you have like a picture of a street, and then you're like, give me candy.
Print it out. Take a picture real quick. Print it out. Put it up there. Put your head down. The second they open it up, trick or treat, give me candy. Like costume. You like it?
Yeah.
What did he did that? He said, "You like it?" He just clapped and started doing his dance. Best scene ever, man. So go check that out. Let us know what you guys think about this Retrovision review that we did and that movie, Fifth Element. That character was it Matthew Kozovic, big time director, big time actor. No, he's not homeless. He's out.
No, but he is a brilliant character actor. I'll tell you that. I hope he gets more.
Stole the movie, man.
Yes,
stole the movie and directed one of my favorite horror movies with Halle Berry. So Gothica. So I'm learning something new every day. So go check those out. Check out his career. Till next time.